I'm Christine.
I'm Derek.
And we've actually both lived in Ladner all our lives, and we're the proud parents of Ryder and Lucy. When Ryder was born, everything seemed typical, happy baby, reaching all his milestones. He was extremely needy in the fact that I basically had to hold him 20 hours probably out of 24. Tantrums were not 15-minute tantrums, they were an hour and a half, 2-hour tantrums.
Well, I think we noticed more of the repetitive movements, things like opening and closing doors during playtime of a toy or a playhouse instead of more of the imaginary play, and also some physical movements like flapping of the hands and movement of the fingers.
That I was taking the kids, because I was on the mat leave with Lucy, to a drop-in play group, and one of the leaders there brought it to my attention. She asked me to stay behind after with the kids and just wanted to say she had noticed these things, and she's with kids all the time, and maybe there was a possibility that Ryder was on the autism spectrum, and she suggested that we contact REACH. Ryder started attending REACH before his actual diagnosis, about 2.5 years. After we contacted REACH, someone came from the infant development program to our house to watch him play, just kind of assess his movements and what have you. She came out a few times, and then I would then take my kids on the Monday morning to the drop-in play group, again where some of the therapists were there, being able to see and assess. And then once he was diagnosed, when he was just over 3, then again we contacted REACH and discussed the ABA therapy program. There was things that we didn't really know that were attached to autism. Like there was difficulty with eating, like there was a lot of pushback on eating. So even before he was diagnosed, I went to a course offered by REACH on just like there's 32 steps to eating, which I had no idea. And just to really understand the process and the big wins, just being able to have food on his plate was a huge win. I think another challenge with Ryder was some of the behavior, like what people would say, oh, he's having a tantrum or a meltdown. And it was just really him really being set on a certain way, like if I drove the wrong way home, there could be an hour and a half situation about that. So it was really understanding if we did something different out of routine, how were we going to handle that as a family.
One of the things that helped was going over ways of creative play and using the ABA program to help teaching and showing how to play creatively, so that it's not the repetitive movements, it's more of a creative way of imagining play.
Also, in terms of some of the simple things that we don't always think about, in terms of learning how to tie his shoes, do up a zipper on his coat, how to actually put it on, how to use the washroom, the steps, involved in that. So a lot of the day-to-day things that we don't necessarily think about. In terms of reaching goals, there was goals set out by the behavior specialists. And so we would meet monthly as a team, so the parents and everyone working with Ryder, and just seeing where he was on the goals and where did we maybe need to focus more on, or guess what, he's achieved that, let's move on.
Well, just recently he's learning how to ride his bike, and he's becoming very good at riding his bike, and that's one of the things that I find is helping with this situation. He's out riding around and he becomes more independent. I have to chase him down with my bike to keep up with him.
In terms of reach and being about our family, reach is part of our family. It really is. And now with Lucy, we've kind of moved over and we're using some services and helping Lucy with a few things. I found it very important to give back to Reach as a whole. So I do a lot of volunteering for Reach, and they are definitely part of our family. Our family has changed because of Reach. I mean, when you first get the diagnosis, you're completely scared and you don't know where to go, and you have that doom and gloom of what's going to happen. And Reach steps in and goes, okay, this is kind of the path we're going to take, and it's going to be okay. And because you're in a family, you're connecting to other people, and you're like, yeah, there's some awesome things ahead, and it takes the fear out.
Our vision for the future is hopeful. We have the tools that we need now that we've learned through Reach to help and manage our son as he goes through the different phases of his life.
What I hope for my children is to follow their passion, and there's so much potential out there for them, and because of Reach, I know that they can reach their full potential, whatever that means for them, to be successful. And again, with Reach behind us, and they're still, I should even say, beside us, yeah, I know things are just going to turn out great.